In early 2025, a rumor swept through diplomatic and shipping circles. The United States might shut down the Panama Canal. The idea sent shockwaves worldwide. For over a century, this 51-mile waterway has been a vital artery of global trade. Even a brief closure would mean stranded ships, broken supply chains, and economic chaos. The canal slashes shipping routes by thousands of miles, saving time and money for businesses everywhere. Any disruption instantly raises alarms in boardrooms and governments from Tokyo to London. These rumors, though false, reflected real anxieties: rising tolls, China's growing presence at canal ports, and heated U.S. political rhetoric. The canal is more than concrete and steel. It's a geopolitical linchpin, a symbol of power and sovereignty. The recent scare forced the world to confront a crucial question: who truly controls the Panama Canal, and how secure is its future? The Panama Canal story is one of ambition and American might. After a disastrous French attempt, the U.S. took over in 1904, conquering the seas and terrain to finish the canal by 1914. The U.S. didn't just operate the canal, it governed the surrounding canal zone, creating an American enclave in Panama. This arrangement fueled resentment among Panamanians, who saw their country divided by a foreign power. For the U.S., the canal was a strategic and economic triumph, vital in both World Wars and the Cold War. But for Panama, the American flag over the canal was a constant reminder of lost sovereignty. This tension would eventually force a dramatic rethinking of the relationship between the two nations. Panamanian frustration over U.S. control simmered for decades, erupting on January 9, 1964, Martyrs' Day, when a flag dispute led to deadly clashes. The violence galvanized anti-U.S. sentiment and made continued American control politically untenable. Negotiations began, led by Panama's General Omar Torrijos and U.S. President Jimmy Carter. Torrijos used nationalist pressure. Carter saw the handover as a moral imperative. Despite fierce opposition in the U.S., the Torrijos-Carter treaties were signed in 1977, outlining a gradual transfer of control. The process culminated on December 31, 1999, when Panama took full command of the canal. For Panamanians, it was a moment of immense pride, the fulfillment of a century-long dream. The American flag was lowered for the last time. Panama became the sole steward of its greatest national asset. A new era had begun. The most dramatic moment in the canal's recent history came in December 1989. Panama's dictator Manuel Noriega defied the U.S., leading to Operation Just Cause, a full-scale American invasion. Over 27,000 U.S. troops stormed Panama, toppling Noriega but at a heavy human cost. During the invasion, the U.S. closed the canal for the first and only time in its history. The closure was brief but underscored the canal's vulnerability in times of conflict. For Panamanians, the invasion remains a painful memory, now marked as a national day of mourning. In 2018, the U.S. was found responsible for human rights violations during the invasion. The 1989 closure is a stark reminder: the canal's greatest threats have come from political and military turmoil. Today, the Panama Canal is again at the center of global power plays. In 2024-2025, U.S. political rhetoric, especially from former President Trump, sparked fears of American intervention, citing rising tolls and China's growing influence. Panama's President Mulino and leaders across Latin America swiftly condemned the threats, uniting against perceived U.S. bullying. Ironically, such rhetoric risks pushing Panama closer to China, the very outcome the U.S. fears. Chinese companies operate major ports at both canal entrances, but the canal itself remains under the strict control of the Panama Canal Authority, ACP. For most Panamanians, talk of a Chinese takeover is seen as American hype. Chinese investment is viewed as a sovereign choice. Panama must balance its historic partnership with the U.S., its largest customer, with growing ties to China. Recent tensions have triggered high-level diplomacy, as both sides seek solutions. The canal's stewardship now means navigating not just ships but the turbulent waters of great power competition. The world is watching. Beyond geopolitics, the canal faces urgent operational challenges. Since 2000, the ACP has run the canal with professionalism, completing a $5 billion expansion in 2016 to accommodate massive new ships. But climate change is now the biggest threat. Severe droughts in 2023 dropped water levels in the canal's lakes, forcing daily ship limits and global shipping delays. The canal's future depends on water and the climate. Economic pressures add to the strain. To fund operations and sustainability projects, the ACP raised tolls in 2025, angering U.S. shipping interests. The neutrality treaty requires fair tolls but offers no way to resolve disputes, leaving diplomacy as the only option. Panama must balance the canal's financial needs with the concerns of its biggest customers, a delicate act for the years ahead. Despite the headlines, the Panama Canal remains open and efficiently managed by the ACP. The recent tensions are just the latest chapter in a long, intertwined U.S.-Panama relationship. Both nations need each other. The U.S. is the canal's largest user. Panama is a stable, reliable ally. The real challenge ahead is environmental, finding sustainable solutions to water shortages caused by climate change. This will require investment, planning, and international cooperation. The canal's story is one of resilience, a nation that won its sovereignty and proved itself a capable steward. Through shifting tides of politics and economics, the canal endures, a vital artery keeping the world connected. Its future depends on how well its stewards adapt to the challenges of the 21st century.